So this problem here, we're going to be drawing a right angle triangle given the hypotenuse length and a side length. So for the purposes of this one here, let's say that our hypotenuse length of AB is 4 inches. And let's say we have a side length, I'm just going to call it side, equals 1 and 5/8 inches. Right? So first thing here, I'm going to take my straight edge and set that up, and I'm going to draw a line 4 inches long. So here I have AB, I'm just going to set some markers there. So AB, which is 4 inches long. Now I'm going to draw a right angle triangle given this hypotenuse. The way I'm going to start this is based on the theory of circles, right? And using the diameter of that circle as the hypotenuse. So I need to take this hypotenuse and I describe a circle that's going to touch both A and B. In order to do that, what I need to do is bisect AB to find the midpoint. Then once I have that midpoint, I can set my compass to the radius, either A or B, from the center to give me the radius that I can scribe a circle around to connect. And then I can just mark the side length up, and there is my right angled triangle given the hypotenuse and one side length. So let's go ahead and do that. So first things first, I got to bisect. So what I'm going to do is set my compass up. I'm going to set my radius to somewhere about 3/4 of the distance between A and B. Okay, I'm going to scribe an arc above and below, and then I got to set my compass on A and scribe another arc above and below without changing that radius. So I'm pretty close to the bottom of the page there, but that's okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these straight points here, and I'm going to mark the center. Right? I could draw a line straight down through, but my only goal here is to find the center of AB. So I'm lining up with where these arcs meet, and I'm just putting a mark at the center of this circle, which is right there. That mark is now a bisection of line AB. I'm just going to call this O for center of circle. Now, what I need to do is take my compass and I just set a radius given that center point. So now, setting my compass up at 0, or O, sorry, and now I set the radius up to hit A. Now if I've set that and done this correctly, it should also hit B. Okay? So now that I hit A and B, I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to scribe a half circle that connects to A and B. Now, this is just coincidence. This is not likely to happen on every single drawing you do. It just so happened that the diameter I set there to do my arcs happened to work out that it touched this circle. But that's not supposed to happen. That's not always going to happen. It just so happened to happen in this one. Okay? But that was just fluke. Don't think that yours is supposed to look like that. The only goal was to draw these hash marks, or these arcs, sorry, to connect and find our center point. Then from those, we set the radius up to A or B, and then we scribe that arc around. Now, the only last step to do here is to set our compass up to that second side length. So if I set my compass on 0, and then I bring in my compass to be a radius of one of our sides, and right here I have it set to 1 5/8. Okay? Now all I have to do is go from either A or B. I'm just going to pick B for the sake of doing it. I'm going to pick B. I'm going to scribe an arc that cuts through this circle at a side length of 1 5/8. So now what I have is I have the hypotenuse of our triangle, AB, which is 4 inches. And now I have a side length that is 1 5/8. And remember back in the theory, I believe it was last week, angles and triangles, number 3. If you look back at that one, we talked about this interesting theory of circles, whereas if I treat the diameter of a circle as the hypotenuse, no matter where I connect a triangle that hits the edge of the circle, like I'm doing right now, it will always connect at a right angle. So when I connect A up to this point, which again, we could call this point here, let's just call it E, because if we were to label, we could label these points here for the center point, but now let's say I have that point E. And now that I connect this, we have this line across here, which is 4 inches, and then we have this side length here, which is 1 5/8 inches. And because these are connecting on the outside of a circle with the hypotenuse being the diameter of that circle, they will hit and form a right angle.